conscious imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more control. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here. Each and every time we go live during Fearless. I'm joined by my ethereal translator and co-host, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good today.
You look a little tired.
I am a little tired, but that's okay. That's okay. I am a little tired. But I'm impressed. Frank put a chair together today.
I ordered
and he just executed it flawlessly. It was a beautiful thing. And last week he fixed the oven door, so I couldn't be happier.
What's up, everyone? I've been on a creation rampage.
Yes.
Being able to look at things that I couldn't see prior to, I don't know, this in my life. Maybe that's the best way to say it. Turn. And like I tackled the oven door, which was pretty awesome. Yep. But I was able to see where the parts are supposed to go. Normally, I'm like, I got to watch a video. I got to freak out 100 times. Not this time.
Nope.
For very, very, very interesting. No, I got to get used to this thing.
I'm telling you, it's a little intimidating having it in your face. I don't, whatever.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
We'll get it to being the right. Get the fuck out of here, right?
The chat room folks saying I'm cracking them up, but it's true. Please, that oven door. I opened that oven door all day long.
I pulled it
day,
off.
Please,
It just came off. I was like, wow.
And then he built it. He wanted a chair for his desk. And so he picked a chair out, and it's a beautiful chair, but he had to put it together, and he did such a great job. And
the Omega chair.
It really, you executed it beautifully, and I'm just
high five.
I know. I'm
high
just
five.
So impressed.
Stay on top of that microphone.
It's wonderful. It really is.
I want to give a couple shout outs to Ellen. She just had surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try to put that between your legs. Come on, we got to do this. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look at that. Control. I have control now.
Yeah.
We'll teach her mic control. I'll get that little character out of there. I know you're in there.
One version of me is in there. I know.
No. Go check out IamWeAreFearless.com for all the latest and the greatest, 5 artists, a dream, a plan. We put it together. We make it happen. Go check out the t-shirts and the banners and the posters and the paintings and the boots and sneakers. And we got some yoga gear too for the ladies, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, we use our pillow all the time. We have a throw pillow. We use it.
I love that throw pillow. I know I find it all over the house because no one else really likes it as much as I do. It's like the perfect pillow for someone like me. I'm about 5'8", just under 200 pounds. And those pillows are the perfect thing to put behind my neck or the lumbar seat. All right, that's that's the best commercial you're getting out of me tonight. I want to say what's up to everyone in the Fearless family. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Last night we did a Fearless Conversations with
it was good. Sorry.
with
That was
stop
so
touching
good.
me with Solaris Blue Raven, and we had the greatest time. It was a fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't even want to call it an interview, although I have questions and we got answers and all that good stuff. It's when you can just flow with someone for a little bit, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And you know what I especially liked? She answered a question. So you asked a question and she actually gave you a legitimate answer. You know, some people skirt around the answers and you're not really 100% sure what the answer to the question was. She was very clear. She laid it out. She gave you an answer. If it wasn't clear, she went over it again.
So yeah, so
And
I
that- and that was
suggest you
that.
guys check this out because there's a lot of things that I specifically speak about, and Paula speaks about here. And
Oh yeah, she had a lot to say.
She was
about certain
saying
things.
pretty much the same thing
Yeah, especially about the military.
from the other angle, like from the angle that I can't discuss because I don't
You
have
don't know, right?
I'm not that guy, right? So, but she's that girl, and we were talking about overlays. That freaks me out because I talk about the overlay all the time and how we are it's descended over time since I've started this, and now it's like right here. It's when I go under, you can see it. It's almost like just another image of an area or a place or a position that your space that you're in, and it just lands over you oh so gently, and then you're in this other spot. It's like you're changing frequency, and then this is occurring.
Right.
But I keep going to the same place. This is the thing, and people are seeing this now. The same place. They're like, the overlays coming. Like, we have overlays on us, programming from when we're kids, from immediately, it's the body condoms I spoke about, or giant plastic bags. The plastic bags are programmed, and then they slide them over you, right? So now your vision isn't as clear because you have plastic in front of you, and it blocks some things and allows other things in. So the appearances are off, and it keeps working these until we're down at 4%. 4% awareness is not good. That's like seeing each other and stuff, seeing the tree and the desk. It's very, very, very limited. So she was talking about how the overlay is getting close. So our man Joseph from the group, we just read his post. He went in yesterday, and it's funny. So shout outs to mushrooms, right? All kinds of mushrooms. Shout outs to you, because they've been showing me the way to get back in track again. He just said he went under with 2.5 grams allegedly, and they were preparing him for some kind of shift or event that's coming. Right now, he doesn't he doesn't talk like that
ever.
He's the sweetest, nicest guy, and rarely posts. But he's our people. He's been here with me. We've done our thing, and he's Fearless family. And he's like, listen, man, they were preparing me for this, and I'm like, yeah, me too. And we're gonna talk about that tonight. The preparations for said stuff that's coming. It's crazy, right?
It is crazy. It is crazy.
How does it make you
Frank.
feel, Paula?
You know what it is? I see it in my face, and I'm not feeling well. Like, I'm achy, and I can see it in my face, and I don't want people to be scared because I look this way.
So
I'm okay.
It's the full moon. I was just outside yesterday here. The wind was so bad, and it was totally a solar wind. You could feel it.
Yeah, and then it started flurrying, and then the pressure
rained,
dropped.
It snowed, and the sun came out. And then last night, as these low clouds just blew through here, then it's been dead clear.
Yeah,
it's almost like something came in and pushed something out.
Pushed it out. Yeah,
and then said, "Ta-da!" because when you go outside right now, the clouds are like low and off out there, all out to the sides. You look straight up. And
Yeah, we came home
it's
this
crisp,
evening. It changed.
clear.
Everything changed.
It's not even for as cold as it is. It's not that cold.
No, but I feel very achy today, and I don't know if that's just residual.
Look,
blood,
Antarctica. How hot was it there?
In the 60s, right?
Right. So
it's the warmest weather they've ever had.
The warmest weather they ever had. So this stuff is definitely going on, and for sure, like, share, and subscribe, and check out all the links that are.
See the comments, people's comments.
Oh, that's because I'm doing some cool stuff.
Oh, you do.
All the links are in the description down below. Don't forget, you smash that little button, bong. We show up in your feed every Saturday or every other time, anytime we drop anything. Jeez, what's wrong with you tonight, Frank? So remember, through this whole thing, these experiences that we're having, remember the most you could do is really, for preparation, breathe, meditation. If you're into psychedelics, that's always fantastic. I noticed during the full moons, the psychedelics are a little weird. It's a little wonky. They always tell me
everything is enhanced, I think.
Well, they say sometimes, like, don't come in during the full moon if you can. Sometimes when you feel good, but I was saying, like, 3 full moons in a year. If I'm lucky, I feel pretty good. Every other one smacks me with the 1-2. But I think the full moon's in Leo right now, and it's like the big creative push. And what have we been doing around here? You getting a sewing machine because you want to start doing some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's creative.
Yeah.
There's building and fixing going on.
Yes,
There's tons of writing.
And Rihanna, we've been talking about the Woodland Wand Creations and the Etsy store for Rihanna Schellenberger and Rihanna and Bert Schellenberger. She makes these beautiful wands. And I know Frank got me a wand for my birthday, and I know that Rihanna commissioned it. She did it. She created it for me, and I can't wait to see it. And it's in the Frank put it away. He won't let me see it. But the energy that's coming off the box that it came in.
Oh yeah, I put it next to my head. I walked in the house like this, and then it was going. Womp,
yeah,
womp.
so I can't.
I haven't even looked yet.
I really can't.
I felt like I shouldn't. I don't know. That's for you.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
Anyway, next week's Paula's birthday on what is it, Sunday?
Yeah, I think Sunday.
So we'll be celebrating through Valentine's Day.
Yeah, through Valentine's Day.
From Valentine's Day through.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Holler. Yeah.
Birthday shout outs. So we'll have the birthday party on air next week.
Sure.
So another shout out I want to give, and this is uber important. So yeah, shout outs to Kevin, by the way, Paranormal Portals. She does talk fast, but she talks detailed, specific.
She is.
Right?
She is.
So,
and she's
Joseph's here.
She's
Joseph.
She's she's very eager to share information. So if you want information, she'll give it to you. And I like that.
Yeah, she has a new book too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's got a new book. She's gonna send it.
Alien Intelligence.
Yeah, you have all that information up there though, right?
Yeah, everything's in the description box from last night's show. Check it out. Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna be shouting everybody out. So I don't know what type of mushroom Joseph was doing, but I'll tell you what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Golden Teaches, and I'm not sure the other one I was doing. It was a gift.
Yeah.
So I was taking the gift of some and just having that, and then the next night doing the Golden Teacher, and then the next night doing that one, the next night Golden Teacher. That the mushrooms have a personality for sure. Yeah, smash the like button for me, will you? It shows the YouTube junkies in the background what you want. Right? We want fearless. We want fearless. So each one has its own presentation, right? Have you noticed that? Like when you've taken the different things, even if they're unnamed.
Oh yeah.
Like if I just handed them to you and said
every single experience was different, could not be compared to the previous experience. I agree with that.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like this. Mm-hmm. It's like another path or another road, and on that road is like a journeyman, a partner that you're gonna have.
And I'm gonna say this, and I never say this, but I microdosed, and
coffee.
it was I was able to function. And I've done this before with Frank, and I have to make sure everything is clean, all my animals are fed and accounted for, and my house is in order, and then I have to go hide in the bedroom before the experience is going to take over. And I microdosed, and I felt creative. I felt everything that Frank says he feels. I felt creative. We had company over. I was entertaining, and I was cooking, and I was just being productive, and it was just amazing. And I had this clarity and this focus. And like I said, that's not, anyone who knows me knows I don't that's not my experience. I always have, like I always have to be clear in case, like the shit hits the fan, or there's an emergency, or you know something happens. And I didn't. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And it was an amazing experience for me, and I would and
Also,
I will do it again.
we have been taking the mushroom caps. They're actually capsules of regular mushrooms, like
Every
cordyceps.
day. The what is that? We love them. The first few times we took them, you actually feel like your blood is happy, like something is happening to your blood. You actually feel it. It's
All right,
amazing.
so this isn't a so Mazadek strain, Joseph. That's thank you for putting that there. That's what he was taking. What up, Frank? What's up, Will Smith? Oh, snap, Will.
Oh, hey.
So this is Host Defense, the reishi mushrooms for longevity support, and cordyceps mushrooms. Host
For
Defense.
energy support. And then we took the breathing.
There was one for breathing.
One for breathing, and one for the was it the immune?
High altitude.
High altitude.
Yeah, well, it's like for working out. So what happens is when that feeling we felt of blood breathing, we were getting more oxygen in our blood.
Yeah. They're amazing.
So Paul Stamets is the guy, right? So this stuff. So really, do you sit around eating mushrooms all day to get what you need? It has a ton of things in there. Right, people hiking high into the mountains, and they eat certain mushrooms. And it allows them to breathe better with the atmosphere, the atmospheric change.
Yeah.
So taking that here in the Bronx, it was funny because I was walking for Parker, right? Going all over the place, and what did I do? I walked miles and miles, unstoppable, and it's stuff we should be eating anyway. So I'm not in the store going, oh, well, there's this mushroom, and then there's this mushroom, and then this mushroom. Like the Bronx stores aren't quite like that, and I don't know what I can trust.
If you had to order all the ingredients that are in there, it would cost so much money, and then you'd have to break it all down, that it wouldn't even be beneficial for you. So I mean, these pills are amazing, and the funny thing is, the side effect is it curbs your appetite. I don't know why. I guess because it's actually food, but it does.
It's all mushrooms. It's all different mushrooms. If you look at all the different things that are in here,
blend, and they're great.
And the guy that's making it, where he's making it, how he's doing it. You can watch him do it. And
you can contact him if there's a problem. You can contact him for anything if you have a question. And the funny thing is, we were just talking about Will and Joseph
the other day,
and we were talking about Alexia and Samantha as well, because they had Aya experiences with us, and we have two wonderful ladies that are planning to come in the spring to have experiences. And we were just going over the list of wonderful people that we have met along the way, and how when it's meant to be, it just works out. And that's the case for what's coming up. This trip that's being planned,
it's happening across the board.
Yeah, but you know what, when it's meant to be, it just came together. There was no friction, there was no pushback. That's
everything because Aya, as well as all of us, were in full agreement.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
No,
probably
no, I agree. I agree because it was just very strange, very strange. It all just came together wonderfully, and I'm happy. I'm happy.
Are you happy? What's your scale on 1 to 10? Happy?
Normally, about I'm between a 6.5 and an 8 normally,
Mm-hmm.
which is better than I've ever felt.
You know that chair goes up.
I know. I'm good right now.
Okay.
This is I'm sitting in the chair Frank put together. It's beautiful.
It's funny if you hit the little lever button, if it just shot you straight up into the ceiling. I would laugh. I'd
You
call
would.
Steve. I'd say, pull her up. Don't let me pull her down.
That's nice. He wants
I'm
to
only playing.
eject me out of the seat. Yeah. Okay. Translate this.
Shout outs to Joanna and April. Okay, so yeah, for respiratory support. That's one of the other ones.
Yeah, that's. The
I
one
was
we
having
took.
trouble
I
breathing.
couldn't remember the name.
And I couldn't tell if it was the cats and everything, but then I've already been here with the cats the whole time for years. So why are what is these problems I'm having? What's happening? Why is the asthma kicking in? Why is this? But everything was fine. Then now it's one after another. Ever since I've gotten sick, it's been like a chest thing, and a breathing thing. But then it also, I lose my breath bending over to tie my shoelaces sometimes. I'm like, look, I'm not that old. I'm 45. Let's do this. Right. So this new thing came online to get all this stuff healthy and moving again. Right. Like I want all that blood flow happening. I want to be able to take in as much as that awesome that I can. So I went off the deep end and I had some issues that I could not control. Right. Well, you were sleeping this entire week. So
Which issues are you talking about? So many. Which
inside.
Oh, okay.
So 3 cats and a grandmother and a terribly sick grandfather and a worrisome mother that's beyond even tapping into
you
it to help.
You can't even console her because she's just beside herself.
Aunts and cousins that no longer give a crap, and the way they do, it's not good for anyone else, and and then this one with that one and that one. It's just drama issue. And I'm sitting here like, I don't want no part of this.
Right.
I don't talk to my father for the same thing. Right? Drama. Okay, so I'm not going to be there for that. I'll just send you love from here, and then you can drama for the rest of your life as much as you want. Okay, but we talked about this last night. It's becoming difficult. It's already been difficult, I think, but maybe it's not as difficult, but diving into those frequencies kinds of hurt. When you're like you're around all the people that are stuck in the loop or trapped in some kind of situation that requires their time, effort, energy.
There's nothing you can do to help them because they don't want to be helped.
Right. So you walk into a home of this. Let's say you've been working very hard at this. You are really trying to be a better person and energy wise and all this good stuff. And then you go to a party and there's like 80 of your friends and you walk in and they're all dramaing constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But you love these people and there's almost nothing you can do about it. And then you become the one that is the weirdo in the room, even if you don't say anything about any of the other drama. I mean, I've heard a ton of people want to talk about what's going on, not politically, but like with this character Trump in terms of like the conspiracy theories behind how is he doing this? Is he using Project Looking Glass? But they're afraid to talk about it because you say the word Trump and see, right? I don't know. Maybe not, right? But you say Trump, people just hate you. Systems want to take you down if you say something good about it, right? So if you can't even get one in edgewise at one of these things. I use that as an example because that filters into everything. Metaphorically, it works across the board. Like, why do you wash the dishes like that? It's like, well, because it's more efficient in my home, right? Like it works from that thing. Like, right? You got.
And why do you care? And no, I don't have the coronavirus. Someone's asking. No, I'm just tired and
don't.
It's too much to get in.
Whoever this
I don't have
wanker
the- I don't-
character
I don't
is
have
a
the-
douchebag. So
Stop,
don't pay
no!
attention to him.
No,
do you see what
stop.
he's writing? Look what he's writing. I don't
Oh,
like to
I
give.
didn't even read.
I don't like to give people
Oh,
credibility.
Okay. All right, then let it go.
When you're a jerk off, you're a jerk off all day,
Stop.
right? So
Brian, we love you.
first jerk off, it's always the fucking one you got to point out and just pin him to the fucking floor and take his fucking head. All right. So, I went down a path that I couldn't get myself out of, right? I was in a position where I'm the target in this as not doing anything, or I mean, literally, like I sit and that's all I do, right? That's people's assumption of my life sometimes, and that's fine. But it's my life, and I have to fix myself. And I don't have time to waste with what you think. And this goes for anyone about me and how I have to do anything.
Right.
When I'm the one that has to do it. Right. Inside of my space, at my time schedule, around my family, with what's going on with me. Right? The only one that can help me. The psychedelics. Once again, we go back to it. It's pulled me right back in with the most kind and gentle, hey man, where you been? It's been a minute.
It really has for you, because you haven't really had you did go through you did have a rough experience, but it wasn't anything that you couldn't handle. It was just you had to go through it.
Yeah, the only way to get wisdom in this place is to walk through with experience. Like you walk through, get the experience, boom, you get wisdom from it. You start seeing it from all these different perspectives and everything. Now, I remember what we talked about last time, me catching a beating from my higher self.
That's right.
Right? So we left off last week with that little bit of an adventure. I continued through this week. I stopped 2 days ago. I had to. Because
your body, that's when you started to sleep, remember? You slept that morning.
I started sleeping hours. I slept till 4 o'clock one day, although I was up early in the morning.
4 in the afternoon. 4 in
the afternoon, and then like from 3 in the morning until
the next day.
What, like 12 o'clock? Well, I'm saying, like, I've been getting weird sleep. I never sleep, and when I do, I'm like, whoa. It's always tossing, turning, and everything. But like I was saying last night to Solaris, a few nights ago, I had my eyes closed during one of my experiences, and it looked like golden packets about this big, like cylinders flying through the air as if it was raining this stuff. And she was like saying it's photonic energy. And I'm like, yeah, you close your eyes, you get battered with it. But that's clearing and cleaning out. Think of, there's you dropped your trash on the front of your door, and then the rain comes,
right,
and you sweep up, everything gets cleared up, cleaned away. This has been so that's energetically it does that. So we're in a new place. New energies are coming in because we are traveling, we are moving. Nothing is still. The idea of life is to keep momentum
forward, going forward. Can't keep looking back.
And as we're spinning through the giant clock face and our spot in that clock face within the universal structure, it is our time now to go into a place. And in that place is these energies, which have been absent for quite a while, right? These energies allow us to break through the constructs, the layers and overlays, programming. It allows us to break free of that by giving us a boost of energy. We were watching Solo, the Star Wars movie, and they stole this stuff, coaxium, and it was raw, and they had to refine it before it exploded. So they had it on the ship, but they were being chased by the space octopus inside of the maw, which was like a giant black hole. So he says, we can't use this to put into the fuel line. And he says, no, just drop one drop into whatever flies the ship, right? Whatever gets it going. And he goes, yeah, that would work. He goes, yeah, that one canister is enough for a fleet of Star Destroyers.
Wow.
right? So the one drop, blip, shut the whole thing down. And they were like, oh no, it didn't work. And they flew back into the maw. And then it just kicks on and boom, the octopus gets destroyed. They escape the maw. Everything's all good. My point is, it's metaphorical on how it unlocks and how just a drop of that stuff is all you need inside of you to take it into the next level, right?
All you need is a peek behind the curtain.
I mean,
and
what
it's
would it
enough-
take, right? Like, so
what would
if
it take?
so
What did it take? It
for-
took this much.
people that don't see, right,
Tiny,
or haven't,
tiny bit of understanding outside of your comfort zone. A
Right.
little bit of understanding.
if you saw like a portal or something open and like someone walk out, would that be enough? Would that be like, oh, that's it right there, right? And then would it stay there, or would more happen at that point? Like, I would believe, from what I've seen and what I've done, that the minute I saw another being of any, like, whoever that being was, I still don't know who it was that was standing in front of me at Chris Gio's when he pulled me out of the body, I was already like, it's on. Like,
And that was
you're
your-
there.
And that was your very first.
That was just that was the
your
first
very first experience and exposure to
like that. Yeah, for
to
sure.
that type of psychedelic. Yeah.
I've seen a ghost or something like that's a little different,
Mm-hmm.
but this was like a being, like not like a ghostly human soul left behind. This was like one of those 12-footers.
Why don't you tell them what happened to you and Oscar this week?
Well, that's all in the list.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
Oh.
I had to call for help during one of my experiences. I was catching a beating, and Oscar was sitting across from me, and that's Paula's baby. I was being like slapped down. I don't know if any of you've gotten a God smack before, right? Where it feels like a giant hand has just smashed you to the floor, slap, and then you're like trying to get your act back together immediately, but it's etheric. It's not like that happened to me in the room here. I was sitting on the floor when it happened, and I was kind of shaken, and I'm like, where is everyone? Why is no one helping? And I saw Oscar, and immediately the Godsmack, whatever that was, happened to him. Bap! And I seen him go up against the wall.
But
and
how
just,
big was he?
when I went up to him etherically, the difference was like me being the pen and him being like this big. I had to go up to him and grab his face and be like, yeah, wake up, man. Come on. We both going through this together. We turned around, and the light was like a false light construct. Beings were in false light, making you think, oh, look, there's the light. I'll just run into that. And all of the cat friends, non-human entities, all started coming out, just flying into this space.
Allies.
And I don't mean flying. They like
Yeah.
came running into the space, but it was the real them, not what they were wearing. See, Oscar actually looks like that. He's a big version of like, he has like the panda bear colors. Indigo Child,
Thank you.
thank you
That's
so
very
much.
sweet.
Love you so much. Sending you most positive vibes for sure. You know, our friends, our family, you know, you do take the hit sometimes. Paul has even taken the hit.
Oh, I got hit this last week. I went down for 2 days. 2 days, 2 full days. One day it was like it never happened. It was like I just lost a Monday. I don't even know what happened. I woke up.
She woke up and
I
said something to me, and I said, "You've been gone a day,
a day,
a full day."
But I felt great after. But I did a lot of work.
How many of you are going through this? How many of you are feeling this? You know, you can see it in our eyes. We're like beat up.
See that these.
There's nothing we can do about it. Like, we're trying to just be, you know, us, right? And it is what it is. You know, you get body slammed, you get jacked with energy, you're breathing and you're meditating and you're going through it and you're doing it right. That's why I use psychedelics, because when I can no longer, see, this is where the breaking point comes from. It's not just Parker and Gigi and Merlin and Viola, right? It's not just that. It's that I'm snapping. It's that plus life pressures plus do I have
it's
money to pay
everything,
rent?
yeah.
Is this going on? Oh, did I upset Paula? Did I piss someone off? Do I even care if I piss someone off? Like I go into this like weird place, but I can't. Well, I'm not going to go talk to nobody about this. Who am I going to go talk to about this? You want me to go talk to you? You want me to sit down with you and go, oh, this is how it is? No, I need, and I'm prepared and ready to accept this if it's offered, the healing. I don't need someone to talk to. I need someone to whip me into shape. I need someone to grab me. And if I'm acting way out of control, choke me out into place because I understand that, but with love, just don't just choke me. Be like, dude, you got to stop, sleep, right? Like, who's going to do that? Who's going to do that when you're the target? You wear the target of the black sheep trying to raise your frequency around those who are not, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where do you turn?
The chat room cowboy Chris gets it. That's how I felt. Like just body aches and pain and needing to rest and resting and then not feeling rested and waking up and losing time and being disoriented and having everything be out of place. But still productive. Like
massively productive, which
this
was weird.
week, I was earlier in the week, I couldn't do anything, but at the end of the week, I was kicking butt. I was very productive. Now I feel like I'm going into a lull again.
We did the thing where we take part of the house apart, part of the apartment apart,
right? We're
and
trying to
clean the whole
orchestrate
thing.
it so we have like a routine, and then like where your slack day is or your slack afternoon is, and trying to fit the lulls into those down times. But it's hard.
It doesn't always work like that. You try to schedule certain things and it just does not work. I'm like, but we have to do this. And then the answer I get etherically is, do you have to do this right now?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Do you feel you must? I'm like, but I'm
that was the plan for today.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing. Go to sleep.
Yeah, plan's not working.
Yeah.
Plan's not working.
No matter what you do, you're not going to make it through. And if you really push that hard, you're pushing a boulder uphill. And I'm done. I'm done with all that. Right? I mean, isn't that what this is all about? Like, I don't need to sacrifice anymore.
No, and that's part of the programming also. That you have to
lose
sacrifice.
something.
You have to give something up to gain something.
You got to lose happiness,
and it doesn't work or lose time, or lose money, or lose friendships, or companionship. And it doesn't have to be like that. There doesn't have to be any sacrifice. That we've created that for ourselves. It doesn't have to be sacrifice.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed is things like anger and all the categories that fall under that go into a sickness category, because it drives you into like a confusion at one point, even though you're just that's why they say be aware of what you're feeling. Look at it and go, okay, why am I feeling like this? And then get rid of it. Because, oh man, you cannot go into the next round with this stuff. It's not going to work good for you.
You can't take it with you. There's no room for it. And like one of the chat room folks, yes, juicing, yes. And, Frank and I, it's funny that you should mention the juicing, because Frank and I have upped our fruit intake. And that has been helping.
I can't help but loving apples.
Yeah, that has been helping. So yeah, and we used to make smoothies all the time, but I think we just got lazy. We got lazy, and then I discovered bread and dough, and that's where we are now. But yeah, we used to do the smoothies all the time. We have to get back to that, but we have upped our fruit intake, and we're definitely conscious about eating more fruit.
Absolutely. But something in me is just activated to it. I don't trust all the fruit though, because I love bananas, and we go to the store and get bananas at the store at the block all the time.
And they're organic bananas.
They're organic bananas, and I leave them sitting there until they almost turn black, because that's when I like to eat them. But I don't trust them for some strange reason. My internal fact, like, all right, we were in the store.
That's right.
Yeah. And the guy was stacking the stuff, right? In the aisle, and he was standing next to the garlic, and we needed garlic. So I'm like, no garlic. I don't want anything from China in my house. No offense, China, but you're broke. Right? I don't want to hear it no more with your poisons and your this and your that. Done.
Oh, Brian, thank you. You didn't have to do that. That was sweet.
Right. So I'm like, nothing from China. Right. So the guy just looks over at me like, this stuff's good. I'm like, it's plastic. Right. Like, he's stacking the shelves. I'm the federal inspector. Give me a break. You guys are pulling it out of this thing and you're sitting them individually and saying whatever it is, because I'm walking by picking it up going, is this from China or not? It doesn't say on the thing. And then you got to like look where they stuck it and see that it's from China because they're repackaging them.
Right, because it said from Florida.
And I'm like,
but if you looked at the small tag said from China, because I remember he had a whole thing. I came back from the supermarket one day. I bought garlic. He threw the whole thing out in the garbage. So I didn't want him to do that again, because now you're throwing money away. So in the supermarket, we were uncovering.
I love you, Brian.
That they
Older brother
repackaged
love.
everything, and that the garlic was from China. But it was funny because we've been feeling that way about pineapples now. I keep wanting to buy a pineapple because I love to have fresh pineapple in the house. Yes, and I have.
She does great banana bread.
And I have bananas in the freezer for that too. But yes, I'm waiting a day to see if Frank's going to eat the rest of them, and if not, I'm going to make a banana bread.
Brian, I'm sending you most positive vibes.
But it's funny because there are certain times we want to eat certain fruits, and it's like I can't buy it. You know, like now the whole thing with the pineapples. Now we want pineapples, but we can't.
I don't know if I trust
something
it.
Doesn't let you buy it.
Yeah, like I'm there. It's there.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make
Look,
it
I'm getting
into the
chills.
cart.
It's like your spider sense goes off.
Yeah, and says
your Peter
can't have
tingle,
it.
right? Frankie tingle, Paula tingle goes off.
Stop, don't say that.
Sorry. But then you're wondering, like, and then you're like, nah, I just don't need this. But on the other level, your body is going, not that one.
This one.
Yeah, like you're doing the best you can in the position we're placed in, and it's not a good position, right? It's not, because it's laced. Everything's laced. Even the drugs are. Look, I used to do a lot of cocaine. If I was doing cocaine now, I'd be dead. First of all, I'd have been dead years ago. But with the fentanyl,
oh, absolutely.
Forget it.
Absolutely.
I'd be dead. That's all around here.
Because you have no idea. You have no idea unless you bring a tester. Can you even test for that?
I don't even know, but you can't touch fentanyl with your fingers. So you take it out to test it, get it on your finger, and die. That's how the cops died from it. It was in the room, and they just went in there, and they would touch it, die. See you. That's the kind of stuff that's going on out there.
No one dies from smoking weed.
Yeah. Just smoke weed, grow your own, don't ask permission, do what you got to do.
No one dies. No one dies. Just saying.
That's what that's what I'm saying. Can they be trusted? But the choice we have to go with the best choice we have. We have to do the best we can, right? So look, I don't eat enough mushrooms of any kind, right? We eat mushrooms though, and we eat magic mushrooms, right? But I don't eat mushrooms like as if it's part of my culture and I should be sitting there and 3-4 days a week, it's shoveled in 2-3 times a day, right? Like with all the other nutrients. I don't have the time for that. We're on
mushrooms once a week.
Yeah.
We buy them.
We're living on a giant cement block.
Yeah, we buy them at Costco, and then once they're gone, we don't eat them again.
So it's the best way you can. Yeah. You figure it out, and you know what's in your stuff, and things will start to just change. Wonderfully, by the way. I really like you, buddy.
I like you too.
Will you be my Valentine?
Of course.
Well, I have to ask.
Do you have to ask? I don't think you have to ask.
It's rude not to. Should I just assume that you'll be my Valentine?
I would hope so.
What if
I would
Roxy
assume you were going to be my Valentine?
Me first? See what I'm saying? So we just cut through the nonsense.
Roxy can't cook dinner.
No, she can't, but she has one hell of a purr.
Okay.
So you do the best you can, and you try to pack it in as much as you can. And
I want to talk about what happened to you as the follow-up to the
We can't
event.
jump. We can't jump ahead.
Not yet.
No, that's somewhere over here.
He's got this. He's got this. This.
No, because she'll jump around,
He's.
and then it
Yeah.
won't. The story won't make sense.
Why
That's why
won't it
I
make?
would.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
if
sorry.
you read the book backwards, it would make no sense to me.
We're talking. This is not a.
Well, it's a story.
Oh, it's a story. Okay.
So, may I borrow your hand, please?
No.
Because I'd like to see how this pen works.
Stop.
Only teasing. All right. So, in our Fearless family group, we have some amazing people. They're all amazing. Everyone's amazing. But as we rise, people fall into them, like the real, this is what I do, this is how I am, and awesome personalities emerge.
What do you mean? People become who they're supposed to be.
Me, like
or-
who they're like their true self,
Yeah.
and then that shines forward, right?
I agree.
Okay, so I used to run meditations all the time.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, I know where you go, rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay. He's the shit. I love it. I love it.
So those of you that aren't in the group are really missing out. I would go to the Fearless Family group in Facebook,
Oh, do you have it there? You have it.
right? I have 38 people that haven't answered the question, so just go there, answer the question, and we'll let you in, right? I do this to keep out bots and nonsense. Anyway, so I saw he put up, it was last Saturday.
Mhm.
I don't know if he did it on Friday night or Saturday morning or what it was, but I had skipped over it twice because it wasn't meditation time for me. So I'm not
Right.
going to watch meditation
Right. When you're not.
when I'm not
when you're
ready,
not ready to
because
do
then
it.
it's just stuff in the room, and I want to pay attention to what the family says.
Right.
Yo, Robert is like this. I want to call him like an old school OG.
I think he's amazing.
Dude,
he
I would
takes
hang
it
with
really
you every
seriously.
day.
He does.
And do this kind of stuff every single day.
I think the two of you should create something.
Higher frequency shout out. So he does these meditations where he's got just grabs a microphone like a rapper, like an MC, because he's definitely an MC. I don't want to hear what anyone says. He's definitely not a rapper. He's an MC, because MCs grab microphones and they're like, "You ready?" It's story
he can
time.
hold your attention.
Hold your attention.
Yeah.
So I ate mushrooms after the show last week because I was still in that grind, and I needed the choke out. I needed them to come to me and go, "Look, you're still not understanding it. Let's continue the process." So I was like, "Yeah, I caught a beating. I'm kind of over fighting. I don't want to fight no more." And boom, Rob comes up right on the screen. So I flip that thing on, and he starts doing a Shiva mantra, the Om Namah Shiva, right? Free Energy Mobile, I send you positive vibes.
I love that. Thank you.
Love you very much. And we've been using really good flour too, right?
Yeah, the unbleached, unbleached, I don't know.
And here he is. Higher frequency. Shout outs to Robert Hawley. All right. So it starts hitting me as I'm staring at him on screen. Now, we're all quite the character. We all have our own version of us that makes it animated and jump out, right? As he starts talking, I do the stare into the screen. Now, I've seen Robert on the other side. I've seen the higher frequency self. He's awesome, right? And it's as he's going, I feel like he's doing this for me now. It like focuses me in with horse blinders, and I hear the music, and I'm like, I love all kinds of meditation music that have a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it too slow, too boring.
Yeah. It's got to keep you interested.
Yeah, it's got to keep like a song, just no lyrics or whatever, and then.
So bad. I'm just gonna
No, I know. I picked mine up 4 times. I didn't eat it yet. So then I go, he busts out the microphone and he's like, we're going to try something here. I just want to do this. He's so casual and he talks in between. And I'm not doing this justice, but I got to tell you, because I started tripping balls. It was really intense. I look at him and it was almost as if his head was coming through. It was more than a 3D. It was like a 5K to 8K kind of thing going on. And I can see him animating his body, right? And then I can see me doing it as well. So I start moving to the music, and then he's getting ready, and he flips on. It's like a rap beat with Om Namah Shiva, right? With the Shiva meditation, and he's Om Namah Shiva, right? It's going, and I start doing it with him, right? So I'm like, let me see if I could tone flex with him. Like, it was just something I wanted to try. So I'm just going with him nonstop, looking at the screen, looking around the room. Oh, the cats are chilling. Everyone's good. I start saying internally, I forget that I'm doing it. It's so weird. And I'm just looking at him and thinking, well, we're going to work this out. This will get creative. This is going to get fixed. I'm going to face this, and I'm going to talk to Paula about that. And then, oh, look, the cat. I love the cat. You know why I love the cat? All while I'm doing the mantra. Then I was like, that was the first second just started. Then I was like, oh, protection's up. Boom. Instant protection. I mean, the only time I get that kind of protection is when I'm with you.
I know. I'm going to eat your chocolate.
You're going to eat my chocolate? I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I give you good protection.
So that bubble that surrounds us, that allows you to stay focused on whatever it is in your space without interruption, big time. Yo, now I didn't get to talk to Robert about this, but he started rapping, right? When he does this, it's awesome. But he did this flip where I guess he recorded the Om Namah Shivas while he was doing it, or he had it pre-recorded or something. It's kept playing, and then he wasn't doing it no more. He started rapping. Whatever device you were using cut you off. So we couldn't hear you. We heard the beat and the Om Namah Shivas. But I was watching you, right? And I started rapping with you. It was the weirdest thing in the world. And the raps were coming to life, but they were life-filled raps, words, the lyrics, the lines, very simple, very easy to follow, fun, interesting. And I'm going, is this the revival that I was being told about, where the music comes back and all of a sudden it feels good again? Because a lot of this music's dead. It's garbage, straight garbage. You listen to it, you're like, whatever. A simple beat, simple, with a little melody, allows skill to just prevail over everything, where you can feel it in your heart. You know, a guy with a guitar and some good lyrics, not overly trying to do it, not under trying to do it, will never die. Right?
No,
It'll never die.
Songwriting.
It's just, it is what it is. And as an MC, we do everything with our voice. See, I'm not very good with any instrument. I am, however,
writing something because they have something to say.
Yes, I am, however, really good with production and then putting my own stuff together and all that. And that's within itself. Then there's the guys that are just over here, where they're so comfortable. You know how hard it is not only to run a meditation in front of people that are watching you, like they have the little ticker here. I can see how many people are watching. I know what's going on, right? And then I start rapping. Like, I've been doing this for years. So, right. But everyone else has it. I don't know everyone else's full story. So I'm watching the flower open up live on TV. Paula was like, I don't want to be on TV. I'm like, we're about to go live on TV. What are you talking about? She's like, no, it's not TV. I'm like, we watch this on the TV. You're on TV.
I don't need anyone to know who I am. That's just how I feel.
Her name is Paula Milo.
No one cares.
In 2015, her life took an interesting directional change.
Yeah.
That was when Frank stepped into the frame.
You could say that.
So it really, the creative, that you might be nervous to be in front of people doing, all of a sudden he's in a cipher where he's in control of everyone watching.
He was very comfortable in his
so
element.
comfortable, making me feel
comfortable. Yes.
Look, I'm here. It's going.
You
again.
were watching it on the computer.
I watched it on loop like 6 times.
No, you watched it on your computer. I had my phone because I commented on it.
Mhm.
I had my phone out, and I was like, because a lot of times I don't comment because I see it on the computer, so you never see my name come up in a comment. But he's amazing. He just loves what he does, and you feel the energy come through the screen. It's amazing. You know?
I'm listen, when I see stuff like that, I fall in love again.
I love our chat room folks.
Yeah, all fearless family.
They always have sweet things to say.
So one of the coolest things with this is when he's doing whatever mantra, right? Like you're doing the Om Na Shiva or Om Na Padme Hum, right? Someone does it, so you hear it, you go, okay, that's what it sounds like. It's done on a rhythmic movement,
definitely, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting
and he's moving his body the whole time too.
You're getting the dum 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 dum, right? And then you're Om Na Shiva, and that's very easy, right? You're following along with him, and then there's open air where there's no Om Na Shivan, it's you go. So you're singing along, and then you just keep going. Now the guy drops back. Now you're alone. Rob's doing his thing, and I didn't even realize I was still going. I thought he was still on, and then I noticed he was rapping. Okay, so inside of that, beautiful things happen. Wonderful. These are there so you unlock, right? Like mantras. What do mantras do? Oh, there's a protection mantra. There's a mantra for this. There's a mantra for that, right? So you're giving so you're everything, the all, and then you're giving respect to the details within the all.
Right.
Right? Right. The earth, the air, the wind, the fire.
Right.
The ether. You're giving them the respect, but it's you. That's you. All of that energy is you because you're the energy master. So you sing. I don't want it because we're not doing it in praise of beings. It's not like we're singing, oh, Jesus, sweet Jesus, right? And Shiva, we're not like, oh, Shiva, sweet Shiva. Like, that's not it. The words mean, the individual words mean like earth, wind, air, fire, right? So you're giving respect to like the elementals.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In turn, all of that energy comes into you.
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah.
You bring it in, and then within that energy, now you can work. And what are we working within ourselves? All the things
all the time. Like we said, we're always working on Frank.
I'm the forever worker. Yeah. All right. So, this is what winds up happening. Okay. This is, I think, where Paula wanted me to go. And this is where it gets really good, guys. I never really had an apology on anything really big.
Oh, okay. But you gotta.
So I'm going to, this is a big one. During this experience of the Om Na Shiva, I even have raps, the rap I wrote. I was so fixed, and then just doing it, boom. I look over. I'm like, man, is somebody at the window again?
And this is this week. This happens this week or last week?
This was Saturday night.
Right.
Right after the show.
After the show. Okay.
The same feeling when I got attacked in the house came on to me. The same feeling.
When you got attacked,
mm-hmm.
It was months ago. It was we think it was a sect or a faction of the military that came in and attacked Frank with this
frequency weapon
that Frank actually found online.
I found the white papers after
and he had a very hard time. He thought he was going to basically die and that I was going to wake up and find him dead.
They were trying to make it look like a suicide of some kind. They shot me with the weapon. I got knocked out of my body, then fought my way back into my body. then fought them off by regarding the energy, not trying to fight them because you're not hitting them. I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
There were men there, and I couldn't grab them.
Right. And this event happened in the summer or before the summer, or
Just a couple months ago.
It's a while ago now. So Frank is having this experience last Saturday.
Right. And it's like they boom into the room with you. It's like you almost hear the sucking out of the air or something, and you turn, you're like, I know there's someone there. I know it. And then boom, I see that looks like a saxophone of energy. And out of the hole of the energy, they start just walking in the room one after another. Boom, 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 filling up the room. Beings walk them in. There were no humans with them this time. All ETs. I don't know if, gray aliens, I guess, are a dime a dozen. It's whatever faction they're working with. So sometimes they look like your traditional. Sometimes their heads are a little bigger. Sometimes they're not gray. They're kind of greenish more, or grayish, bluish or something, right? And I saw them piling in the room, and I said, oh, here we go again. All right, I'm ready. And they were like, no. And beings were walking them in. Go in there right now. And I'm like, oh, snap. What's going on here? So a few beings back from where I'm standing, I saw the one that shot me, right? And then I look over and I started noticing. It was like I knew their energy because they all looked exactly alike. I was like, what's going on in here? So they were like, you, and you. Let's go. Get over there. Tell them what you were telling me. So I'm like, I don't want you guys here. I don't want you here. Nobody asked my permission to be here. So I immediately start looking around, and I'm like, we're not covered in a bubble, because they covered me in something last time. I couldn't make contact outside of this energy field, but that wasn't there. It was very calm, very, very non-confrontational. So this being pulls one of them up, and I go, oh, wait a second. You're the one that hit me. You come over here. You stand right here where you were standing. And they were like, talk to him. Tell him what you told me. So I'm like, yeah, what is it that you want to tell me? And they're like, well, we're not here to fight. I'm like, I kind of want to fight now. I kind of want to punch one of you right in your face, but stand right here and say what you got to say. And they said, yo, we apologize for everything we've ever done to you. Any position that we put you in to make you feel harmed, uncomfortable, victimized in any way, shape, or form, we apologize, and we hope that you accept this apology, from our heart, and you will never have a problem with us again. As a matter of fact, we're never giving any one of your people a problem. And I'm like, my people? So they're like, we didn't know it was you. I'm like, what? And they were like, we're really sorry. If you could just accept the apology. So I started going, well, as the creator. And then that's when it just, I was like, oh, snap. They're looking at me and seeing something different than I think that I am.
Absolutely.
Or something.
You're seeing a regular guy, and they're seeing something.
The other character.
Seeing a light in you.
Yes. So they were, listen, we're not even going to stay.
Right.
We just want to back out of here. Please just accept the apology. And they started backing away. And I said, you know what? I've been jumped before and all kinds of crazy things. I was like, I forgive you.
Right.
I really forgive. I was like, yeah. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Right.
I appreciate you for doing that. However, I want everyone to leave, and I want you two to stay. I want you to stand in front of me and explain to me what's the problem. And they were like, no problem. We have no problem with you. Like, you like doing that to people, to creators? Because that's what you're doing it to. I don't know if they're looking at another version of the being, so I'm sticking with the all at all times. The light being, it's the creator. That's the all. Here we go. And I said to them something weird. I was like, as the prime source of this, you guys, I want you to go through it, the two of you, what I went through. And they were like, you want to beat us up? I'm like, no. I want nothing bad to happen to you. Literally, I don't want anything bad. I want you to ascend.
Because you set off a chain of events here.
You are going to go through what I had to go through,
Right.
this ascension. And then I said something like 400,000 years should do it. And they were like, what?
Right.
And I'm like, you're only reincarnating into bodies. You'll be an infinite soul. And then you're going to come back and see me when this is over. And they were like, yo, we're really sorry. Bip, right out the door, gone.
Gone.
And
Done.
I'm like, they were like, you think that's kind of harsh? I go, I'm not giving them a prison sentence, a jail time, an injury, a victimization. I'm not interfering with natural law, considering I am that character, right? So all I said was, I want you to ascend like I did. The process. You're going to go bloom and become this. It should take you specifically that amount of time. I just asked of them to do that, and they're going to do it. They're like, because you're the creator. We could play the game all day. The minute you believe and understand that belief, and there's no turning back, there's nothing you're going to do about it. Okay? There's nothing any of them are going to do.
Any of them can do about it.
So, yes, a reptilian could walk in and beat your ass, could eat you, do all these things, right? But why does it not? Well, it's natural law. Well, they skate natural law all the time. I think on that level, they get smashed.
Mm-hmm.
Smashed. Like, it's not a war if you don't stand a chance of winning. It's a dominating takeover, like what they did to us. Me standing there in my self, in my presence, in my I am presence, is all of that wrapped into one, and plus more.
Because it's your truth.
Right. Yeah, it's the truth.
This will no longer happen. Thank you for your apology, but this will never happen in my reality again.
Yeah. No, I'm not dealing with it.
Right.
I'm not having it. It's done. I get it. We're wearing the masks. You need the energy. You want to eat. You want to play a game. You want to check. No more. Okay? No more. Because don't let me catch you doing it over there. See, that's a whole nother thing. It's almost like we have to. All right. We have to patrol ourselves. You have to be your own police force within you. And the answer is no to anything that wants in. That's like, this shouldn't be there. Anything negative and nonsensical and ridiculous, get out of here. Right? Parasitic, vampiric, whatever else that does those things, right? You don't need to wear an octopus as a hat on your head while it's on your head, right? You don't need that. You don't need a jellyfish to float over your body and envelop you so you are more powerful and blah, 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 blah. You don't need to walk with 10 wolf men. You don't need to be down with the reptilians. You are all of that. When I walk naked, you should be shaking, right? Because I don't need any of that. I have friends and family and loved ones and beings that love me. That's all great and dandy, but you need to stand in your own stuff. Where do you stand? Can you do that? Because that's what you're being asked to do. But you agreed to this over there, right? Because over there, it's so much easier.
And that's it. That's all you have to do.
Bong. And I'm like, well, what else do I do? How could I be like you? You don't.
No,
you be
like
you. The best version.
You
could take anything you want from me. You could use whatever you got to. You need my help, I'm there, but you got to be you.
Right. And one of the chat room folks, Lexi, yes, because you declared it. You declared never again. So now you declared it, and that's how it will be.
And if you need to declare it again, you do it again.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And if you catch them again, you give them the line. Cross the line. You're in my space, bro. Right? What happens if I just walk up and start poking you in your head? You might be like, oh, what are you doing? But I'm still there poking. You're going to take my finger and you're going to break it off. Right? You're going to call someone for help. You're going to do what you can, get me out of your stuff, right? Well, that's what you do. But except it's not that crazy. It will look crazy, but you could just go, nope.
No.
And then it'll change. They can't do that. They go raw. They play cosmic peekaboo, interdimensional peekaboo. You ready? Raw. Not scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your turn. light shines in your face, they all just disappear. They run,
Right.
or they melt, or they transmute, they disintegrate, or they leave. You
They
can make them leave.
Yes, because they realize there's nothing there. You're not feeding off of me.
Yeah.
There's
And
nothing here for you.
as you do that, your friends show up, right? Like the other beings that are with you roll up and they're like, you heard him or you heard her.
Right. Allies.
Your allies are there.
Allies, yeah.
Because the minute the choice was on the table, I made the choice. I said no more. So the answer is no more. Right? That's it. Right? If I want to leave the football game and not play football, I want to play basketball, and you keep pushing me to play football, I'm going to punch you in your face and run out of the park. I'm going to go to the basketball court. I'm going to shoot basketballs. If I want to go fishing, I'm going to go fishing. Get it? You know what I'm saying?
Take my ball and I'm going home.
I'm taking the ball and I'm going into your court and we're going to play, right? And then you're going to see that it's not a game with me. And then you're going to leave the court and the creators are going to take the field. And we're going to do what we came here to do, which is create. The real ballers have shown up, right? Yeah, you heard me. The real ones are here. The original OGs. So the massive apology was one of the greatest things. That was like when everyone showed up at Squeak's funeral. Like it was just overwhelmingly crazy.
Because I think they set off a series of events that they weren't prepared for. Because we made it, by talking about it, we made it a consciousness. So we shed light onto a situation that was supposed to be a covert situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we shed some light on it. And then other people that were already activated might have shed light on it as well. And it became an issue. So now that issue had to be corrected.
You're going to walk around breaking natural law like that. Even if you're a serial killer, they're going to come looking for you immediately.
It did set off a major chain of events. I mean, look at all these cats that came to our aid. I mean, that's not normal.
No, that's not normal.
Oh,
I got the chills.
Yeah,
again.
I know, me too. Just the series of events that happened here. We're not even aware of all of the other series of events that took place.
So much more than what we even have a clue. We're just
trying to look at this from one angle, and we can look at this from an infinite amount of
perspectives.
Perspective. So we're looking at this from one angle, and just the series of events that we saw this set off couldn't have been good because it became a consciousness.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to do what you did.
No,
and you can't be doing that. All right, so we already know you break into someone's house, you do stuff to them, you're a piece of crap, right? You need to not do that. But what about the beings that are doing that you're not aware of?
You're not
right?
aware
And
of it.
They're doing a billion times worse.
There were neighbors that were paralyzed.
They were standing like this.
Frozen.
And I'm like,
against their will. That is not cool.
You're doing that to the little kid and his mother next door?
Next door neighbor.
What are you, nuts?
They have nothing to do with this.
They have no clue what's going on. They're not even from here.
No, you covered a grid. You covered an area, and there were a lot of casualties there. So now you were the reason people lost time. People that had nothing to do with this. Nothing had to do with the shift. They're not awake. They don't want to know that there's an alternate reality. They don't want to know that there are multiple dimensions. They're just living. And you chose a grid, and you got civilians involved when they shouldn't have been involved in the first place.
Yeah, you're literally rolling up on things that it's none of your business.
There's a blue orb.
Yeah, I keep
Do you see it? Do you see it? I see it.
It's right over my shoulder.
Yeah.
All right, so
yes, on the black coat, I see it too. It's right there. It's iridescent.
All right, so whatchamacallit? Wow, look at that shit. All right.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't ever apologize for being awesome. Okay, so I start growing from there into happiness, right?
Of course.
So I start getting bigger. Now, mind you,
because
Rob's still on.
You received validation. You received an answer to a question. Is this really happening? Yes, it is. Here I am. I apologize. This really happened. Yeah. See it?
I see it. Okay, so after this apology, I start growing more inside my mind. It felt like I grew through my brain. And as I'm growing through, I see light coming to me, like flowing into my space, but from the high angle. And Source, because I'm like, oh, look, it's Source, starts saying things to me like, you did it. You made it. I'm just going to envelop you in this, and you're going to come over here, and this is what you're going to do. And started listing off orders to me. And I'm like, what'd you just say?
Mhm.
Right? What'd you just say to me? As I'm floating into this, right? No, you need to trust. Now's that time to have that trust, right? Now's the time. Glowing was bigger and it was enveloping. I'm like, whoa, time out. This seems weird. Source doesn't talk like that, first of all. I don't experience Source that way. And why do you sound like a robot? And it,
Do you see it?
what the fuck? I saw
Do
something
you
just
see
fly.
that big white orb in the bedroom? Look up. Look up. Right there. Do you see it? It's got a purple hue around it.
There's some shit going on in that room.
There is. So strange. So strange.
Well, I'm cool with it. So
yeah, no, I'm cool with it too. I'm sorry. I
come
needed
on
to
in.
know
I told
that
you guys
I needed
it's
to know that someone else.
maybe that's what all this is.
I know. I know.
Okay, so wow, this is crazy. So yeah, keep it going, guys. I said, why do you sound like a robot? Right? And it was like, what do you mean? And I heard like R2D2E speaking, but in human words. And I said, you sound like a robot. This thing backed away from me, and it was a box, like a speaker projector over there somewhere. I don't even know what that is. It was just over there. And it was broadcasting a fake frequency at me to make me believe I was being raptured into Source or something. And I gave it some crap. I says, you need to back up right now. I'm tired of dealing with you. And and boom, from the other side of me on that high angle where the tether is from us to Source comes in and starts lighting the area. And I go, oh, there's Source right there. This is everything. And I noticed I was in this room of my mind alone with this thing that was projecting something at me. And then I was like, you're fake, back up. And Source was like, haha, you did it. And I'm like, wait a second. And I was literally enveloped in Source and lifted. And I said, there you are, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. Well, we've been here the whole time, keeping an eye on you. You broke through. And I go, what am I breaking through? And they were like, you're breaking through into your mind. You're overcoming the programming that was built into your human suit.
Right.
And now witness the creator mind. And it was like a room opened. I went up and was standing above my brain, floating above the brain as if I was small and the brain was huge. But I was really high, and I could see a golden grid connecting all these parts around the brain, almost like that's where the skull would be. Like I'm high as the skull goes, floating into that awesomeness, but right there where the brain is. And I was like on that level. And I'm like, this is accessible to us from at this way. It's completely clear, free and clear, no interference, none. I can't even explain. Zero interference. You're like, this is great. Looking around, they're like, okay, go start accessing everything. I'm like, what? They're like, start accessing it. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be healing. You're going to be teaching. You're going to be transforming. And I'm like, yeah, this is my source right here. With all the things that were on my list were being presented back to me like, this is happening. So don't forget, you're going to do this. So I go, well, how do I do it? And they're like, Source goes, this is the deal. You're activated 100% Source in your body, transforming into the light being and all that good stuff. You have to figure this out because it's your body. What works for Paula is not going to work for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? what works for her is not going to work for me. I mean, I kind of get that, but
different
telepathy
modality,
works in
yeah.
different
Yeah, different
modalities.
modality.
With that being said, Paula shows up finally. She always asks me, did I show up? Did you see me? And I see her sometimes, but she showed up and was like, blip. I got to do it from this way. Blip. What are you doing? I'm like, finishing my conversation with Source, and looked up. I go, oh, look who's here. I go up and she's already on the high ledge. Again, just waiting. And get up there with her. And it was like we connected this way
Mm-hmm.
and then started going, oh, did you know? And the only thing I remember from the entire conversation was Source telling me that she sleeps and she's getting what you're getting.
Right.
So she's doing what you're doing, except you need to eat the mushrooms and go through this. You're doing it your way, kid.
Right.
And that's great.
Right.
But she's doing it her way, kid.
Which is what
that's great.
Which is what we've spoken about since the beginning. And Frank was like, no, there's no other way. And I'm like, I'm telling you there is. And now it's
any
coming
which
full
way
circle. Yeah.
you can, and it just will. You just have to have the intent to make it go.
You have to want to receive the information.
And you got to want to do the work. And when you're like, what's this work you're talking about? I talk about it all week long. It's meditation and breathing and exercise and eating the right food, clean drinking water.
Patience. Like I'm
Patience is a superpower.
It really is. Like practicing these things, like practicing patience and practicing, generosity and practice, I mean, it's tough work. It's not easy to be a good person all the time. It's a big pain in the ass, but I mean, this is how we're going to get there. Kindness.
Yes.
This is how we're going to get there.
Gratitude.
And being kind to ourselves is the hardest thing to do. It's
I'm
not just
noticing
being
that.
kind. It's being kind to yourself.
You could love me all day. Frank, I love you, man. I love you too.
I got to love me.
Oh, Frank loved me. That's great. But do you love you?
Do you love you?
Because that is the most important. So from my notes itself, growing into source, removing the imposter. We're going to talk about the fake source in a second. Into the creator's mind. You have to let it all go and just let it happen. Right? It seems scary. It seems weird being lifted and turned and spun and growing and doing all this stuff. And in that, still being able to have the discernment to look over and go, don't touch me, fakery. Right? Because I said, who put the fake there? They're like, that's inside of you. So I go, wait, the fake source is inside me? They're like, no, that box. That's like a metaphor for the programming in your suit at the highest level. Right? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, and you're as you grow into you, that doesn't work.
Right.
So you just change it.
Right.
Just like I said last week with the hologram, I could see the hologram hands, right? The little honeycomb hexagons that make everything up in the hologram. And then I said, well, I have a question about this. I'm seeing through my hand and I get it. It's a hologram, whatever. But does that mean I can control the hologram? Literally. I can control this. And they were like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're like, you just got to go from here to there first. Right. You can't just control it. You got to learn how to control you first by loving yourself and caring yourself, and then getting out of your own way. That was the big one. Just let it happen. That's why when Source grabbed me, I said, oh, this is the real deal. And I just sat there.
That's why.
And it just happened. And I was like, I don't have to do anything. Right. I am already am.
Right. That's why the momentum that we speak about is so important, because you need to gain momentum when you're trying to answer these questions or figure these things out or put these things together. And it's that momentum that you build that helps bring in everything that you need into your reality. So like the questions that you're asking, the answers will come. The people that you're looking for, you'll find. The like-mindedness that you're looking for, you'll find. You'll feel comfort and ease talking to like-minded people. A lot has to happen before these things can be revealed or before you could even take action on them. Everything else has to be set up and ready to go. The momentum already has to be created in order to lay down the foundation to do the work.
Yes.
You can't just pop up one day and say, aha, I have enough answers now to the world's mysteries, and I'm going to go change everything. It doesn't work like that.
No, once you
It's
start this,
layers,
yeah.
layers of information that you're receiving, layers that you strip away from yourself, things that you realize that you no longer need. Commanding your space, commanding your life, commanding your reality, and saying, no, this will not be a part of my reality, because in my reality it is not so.
Yes. Yes. All right. So you letting it all go. You're saying this is no longer part of my reality. The change is going to occur. I'm submitting to it. It's going to happen. I'm using discernment the whole time. I'm not with the artificial deceptions and the synthetic any longer. You're out. You're done. Goodbye. We don't need you. Okay. And no more deals. No deals. Well, you do this and other. No deals.
No negotiation.
No contracts. No negotiation. There's nothing on the table. Right? And if I see something on that table, I'm going to smash the table.
Everything in your life should be declared. Today will be a good day. Why will it be a good day? Because I will not accept anything less. Now, if obstacles get in the way, we deal with them the best we can.
You don't need programming. You're already everything. No deal. Remove all programming. You're not going to forget how to clean yourself and stuff. You're not going to forget how to be a good person and what you have to do. You already know this stuff. No programming. Get rid of all of it. I want nothing here. Within that process, I was laying like this, and inside it was like a strip of anger. Oh, that can't be here. Strip of fear. That can't be here. Oh, look, it's sickness. Don't you want to close down all portals to the sickness? Yes. No programming, no sickness. I don't believe in it. Click, get sucked right out.
Right.
I had all this stuff negative. It's a sickness. The hate. Oh, I hate, man. All that gone. You can't come here with that.
Because we have our go-to moves.
It's not
for
even
when we're feeling upset, angry, betrayed.
Betrayal and victimization, and
you have your go-to feeling and your go-to mood and your go-to saying about the world and your life and how things will be, and you're you're making declarations, and they're negative declarations, and you're telling the universe, okay, these are negative declarations, but this is what I believe. And the universe says, okay, I'm going to give you scenarios where you get more of this.
Yes.
And you have to learn and realize that you create your reality, and I don't mean that, you live this life and you'll never experience problems and you'll never experience, pain and suffering. No, it's just that you'll be the best equipped for it when it shows up.
Yes.
Because you expect every outcome to be the best possible outcome. So yeah, there'll be a problem, but you know what? I'll be able to handle it the best way possible.
You'll be in a new place in your headspace
exactly.
to be able to deal with that. Yeah, black goo has no place. It's a synthetic organism that just allows transfer of consciousness and things into you and externally. It's like a portal almost into that space to allow those things, synthetic or non-synthetic. Well, it's also, I don't know if I'd want to call it demonic organic. I don't think I'm there. So, all right. So the system inside of you will send at the final moment of your rise, your rise into your power, to your creator mind, will send a fake to trick you at the last minute, right? At the last minute, door number 1 or door number 2, and you made your choice, and then you realize there's another illusion, and you're like, no doors, the choice has been made, and the wall falls down, and it's just light. It's like, I don't have to make this choice. You're not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. I don't know whatever it is you're doing, but it's deception on the highest levels. You need to leave. So it's so important. Yeah, I got to the point where I said to myself, my understanding does not require your understanding any
Right.
longer. And that's it. I don't need to explain it ever again.
Right. You don't need to understand why I feel this way. If I tell you this makes me feel this way, and you are unable to understand at that time, it is not my job to beat you over the head and to make you understand that. My response to that reaction should be enough. For
Yes.
my answer to your question should be enough.
Yes. 100%. Everybody wants it described in details and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, look, I can't make you understand how I see
and I can't
what I see.
make you believe.
I can't give you faith. I can't inject.
Exactly.
I can say something that does something to you to make you start thinking about that stuff, and then it joins in on the process. I could send the energy at you. I could be like, yeah, there it is right there. Faith, source,
Look,
love, light.
If
You don't grab it and
this
go.
little blue orb is a reality. Whether it is generated from some light that we're picking up from the computer monitor or the camera, whether or not it is a blue orb, whether it's a being in the living room that no one else can see, it doesn't matter because it's now created a consciousness. So it doesn't matter what anyone believes because everyone's reality is different. That blue orb is different to everybody based on what they know about blue orbs or what they know about Frank or what they know about his story or my story. You know, that blue orb means 10,000 different things to 10,000 different people. It is what it is, but its meaning is infinite, and that's just the way it is. It's not right or wrong or it's not right or wrong or anything. It just flickered. You know,
Delicious.
I know we gotta Rite Aid had
I can't. Chocolate.
Dove dark chocolate hearts, two bags for $6. So we got 2 bags, and Frank and I are in 1 bag deep already.
Does something to me,
I
man.
know.
The stuff
They're
do
like
love.
so fresh, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I will eat it and I will enjoy it like Aaron does with ice cream. I'll say, I know what this is, and I'm going to enjoy it.
And I'm going to enjoy it.
Balls to bones. There'll be no stopping me. All right. So that was Saturday night. All right. Now, I'm not going to go through every single day. I actually only have this right here left. And each night became retrospective on the previous nights for a moment into new stuff. Oh, I spent one night writing raps while under. I did all the, you guys notice I put up all the show stuff early this week.
Mm-hmm.
I contacted everyone.
Productive week.
I set up everything. I ordered stuff for everything that we had going on. We put stuff away. We took this entire area down, the whole desk area, the whole thing. It's massive.
Time to change the tablecloth.
To change a tablecloth is a half a day process on this, right?
Yeah, because you have to take all the equipment off the desk.
And it's not even that. You got to like take the equipment apart,
clean it,
so
and then put it back.
And what happened immediately upon doing that? What did we feel here?
Light and airy.
Light and airy and alive.
We put meditation music on. And
oh, yeah. We even put Robert back on again.
That's right. We were playing.
Okay.
He was on for like 20 minutes.
I just kept pushing the thing back to the beginning right after he does his talk, and he just presses the button on the music and it starts. I just kept rewinding to that. I was writing rap music just on that had nothing to do with that. Like the beat was just perfect and it puts you in a mindset of, oh, I can just do stuff. I could just do this. So one of the things, overcoming addictions. This was a big one because the next night I did the same exact thing again. I put Robert's thing on, and it doesn't get old. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't get old. He does them all the time, so there's all different kinds. But this one, it's in the announcement section of the group, and it's staying there, by the way, so you could always find it. Overcoming addictions. What's an addiction? Something you can't stop doing for
Yeah.
whatever kind of reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So it comes in many different flavors and forms.
Yep. Coffee and sugar.
Coffee and sugar. I'm feeling that addiction. I'm filling out my addiction for chocolate. But then there's addictions that they do something to you that are harmful, whether it's literally harming yourself or, excuse me, putting you into a loop somehow where you get stuck, right? Like I'm addicted to Facebook, right? I look and I turn away and then I look again and then I walk away and I pick up my phone and I look at it again and then I check my messages and addiction, straight up. It comes in many different flavors. So I'm not going to talk about my specific ones, but there was a list of them. And I wasn't being told, look, here's your list of addictions and this is what's going on. Instead, that's a good addiction. There are positive addictions. So, I would experience the addiction, the full on feeling of whatever it was. I would just feel it while just being in observation mode. Like I'm just chilling. And then, what is that? And they're like, what do you feel? And I'm like, well, I'm going to go do this right now. No, wait, I'm not. Wait, what? What's going on here? Time out. What was that? What do you want to go do right now? And I'm like, I want to go run and do all these things. Mm-hmm. And I feel this way and that way. But I remember feeling that way on drugs or something, like on coke and alcohol and stuff, and smoking lots of cigarettes and just shooting shots and shit. And right. Kind of like that kind of shit. I can't do that no more. I'm nothing like that. So I said, I don't want that. Boom, out of me. I was like, wait a second. Did I just kick something out?
Because you declared it.
Yeah, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I just didn't want to feel that griminess, but it was actually something on the list. Then the next thing on the list. Then the next thing on the list. Now, I didn't know it was a list until the end.
Because they're all tied to emotions, a period of time, a point of time in your life. And that's why the healing of those neural pathways in your brain are important, because those addictions or anything that will tie you to a lower vibrating frequency is tied to a memory, and most of the time it's not a pleasant memory, and that's the problem. Okay, so we have to break the tie from the memory to the addiction.
See, people, that's hard. That's a hard one to understand. That it's like let's just say you can't stop eating chocolate. I just stuffed my face with it. If you look deep into that,
no, if I had my heart broken when I was young and in love, I may now be afraid to take a chance again, or I may be in a position where I'm constantly going after someone who will break my heart,
or
again.
It shows up in something else.
Those neural pathways have to be cleared, okay, so that you don't make those correlations between that feeling and that action. Okay, it's changing the patterns in your life, changing your action and your reaction to things, because things are always going to trigger you. There are triggers I mean, I can leave the house and walk down the street and there's 10 triggers. You have to stop the association.
Or yes. What I found is that it was blasting me, and then I'd go, I wouldn't, because you want to trap, right? Like I got a vape here, right? You know how hard it is for me some nights when I'm doing the show not to vape, right? But it hasn't been that, right?
Right.
Like, okay, because it's breaking the addiction. Like, I want a cigarette, and you run outside and have one. It's like, yo, maybe if you didn't run outside right now, every single time you got that feeling,
right, and
you wouldn't create that
urgency, because everything, they were talking about young teenage boys now watching porn and then being with teenage girls and their experiences not living up to what they see on television. And that's basically everything. your experience can't live up to what you see on television or what you see out there, because what you're seeing is fake. It's not real. Okay, so if you're basing what you think an experience should be based on what you're seeing and not how you're feeling, you're always going to let yourself down. It doesn't work like that. And it's the same thing. Like, people set themselves up, they think it's going to be one way and it's another way, and it's like, you
The
asked.
expectations are just
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
control, and it's
you
not what it
can't
is.
possibly meet the expectations, like.
But if you can break that habit, there's no expectation to
Right,
that nonsense,
right.
not leaving you in a weird position in a place. It leaves you in a position of control instead of not in control. Bleh. Get the words out of my mouth there. I just couldn't do it. Okay, so the rest of the stuff is pretty basic, but check it out. Now that all this has happened, I run outside. Right now, I'm shielded. I'm collected. I got all this stuff going on, and I say to myself, "Oh, thank you, universe. I just want to give you a hug and a kiss. You know what? I want to give a hug and a kiss to anyone that wants one." Right? Just saying it, just to say it. Go to light up some tobacco. I turn back around, and there's a creature thing, pretty big, standing there, trying to roll up on me for that kiss. And I was immediately like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Well,
What do you
you
think you're
offered.
doing?" So you said anyone who
Mhm.
wants the kiss to come in and get it. And I says, "You want a kiss? Okay." And it was like the kiss, and then they started glowing.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
looked like twinkle lights were going off inside this being, where I thought it was a dark being. I'm like, it doesn't matter
Right,
anymore.
because it's kindness.
I'm you, you're me, this, that, the other thing. Here's the kiss. I'm not afraid. You're not doing anything to
because
me.
it's the same thing. It's an act of kindness. It's an act of kindness, and it's a ripple effect.
Yes.
Okay, because it's not just here. It's every dimension, everywhere. It's not just this planet. It's the multiverse. It's everything.
I watched this creature's teeth disappear into beautiful lips. It was the weirdest thing. Big lips. Oh, really? Yes. And then blep. It was just a one. It was very transforming, right? It's like kissing Pigpen from the Peanuts, right? And then him just being clean and wearing a suit and tie, like, yeah, bro, let's go party. Like you're like, wow, you're ready to go, huh?
That's like kissing body.
Yeah, that's great. I got
Dirty
grit
body.
in my teeth. So keeping your energies is highly important. And
Maintaining that energy.
maintaining that energy is very important, right? And inside of that, they were like, look, you're on the planet, right? It's magical. You're magic. It's you. Motion and flow, rhythm, dance. Everything moves, everything has the dance, and it's in its rhythm. And you need to flow in that rhythm, right? You need to flow. You need to put the oars in the boat and go down the river and let that energy take you, right? And you need to be grounded while that's occurring so you can do what you have to do. Like the energy doesn't knock you off your feet and just slap you to the floor. You got work to do, even
Right.
when it's something as easy as, hey, jump in the river, right? Because what if you jump in and you have something tied around your feet or something? Like there's a lot of little details that go into it. It's not just so as easy as, like I got to do no work. There's work involved. So visual awareness, remember your responsibility to your awareness. So you jump in the river, you realize it's moving, you realize it's okay, you realize nothing in there is going to hurt you. It's all right. Oh, this is kind of cool.
Right.
I'm not trying to
Right.
gain power and let me get this guy, screw this guy. And I'm not trying to do that.
Right.
I'm in the river flowing, go, there's enough for all of us. Everyone gets to eat off their own pizza pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rhythm, flow, right? Your motion puts the magic to work, right? And which is why they'll say when you do Tai Chi, it's like building up your energy and bringing it in. And, you could just do stuff like stir in the butter. People that work out with like different routines know
That's
exactly what we're
why
talking
the
about.
momentum
You could
is
run it
important.
backwards, you could run it forward, you
Right.
could put it in the air, you could right. You could sing in the shower, you could do what you got to do. You put it, you put your feet to the beat, and you go for a walk, right, to nature. Dun 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 dun, whatever that is, and in that movement, that's where you're gonna find success in the rhythm and the flow and the dance of life, because it's all one big dance. It's a giant symphony of and a production where we are all playing our part. When you hit that note, that's you playing your part in the now. Yeah, and you get to become as powerful as Shiva. That was one of the things. I was like, Shiva's so powerful, and it was like, well, you're Shiva. And I'm like, I know Shiva's out there. I know, I get it. But to be like Shiva, you want to be like him. You can't be him. You be like him, right? But you can really be exactly like him by, like, what does he do? He meditates. He does his mantra. He makes sure he eats right. You know, all those beautiful shows, respect and gratitude and everything. And then he'll smack the shit out of you with one of those 6 hands when he has to. Well, he's known for that. Just to let you know. One more thing before we close out the night. One of the things they showed me that really freaked me out. I was telling Paul about this, and it was kind of screwed up. But we came to this matrix, and for whatever reason, we've been shuffled around away from each other, right?
Mhm.
For deceptive reasonings, and keep them away, keep them in the lower whatevers. So I had a moment where I remembered these girls I hung out with when I was a very young man.
Yeah.
I was young, right? So I won't say her name, but this girl we were sitting in my room, and we were like freshmen in high school, I think. So we're still in our clothes from school, and I sit over, I look at her, and she starts talking to me, and I know other people are there. Oh, and now in reality, in the house, we had people downstairs, and I'm looking at her and my door is at the top of the staircase. So I'm looking at her. I could see her sitting there looking back at me. She's kind of got a side profile thing, and she keeps turning to look at me. And I'm like, oh, I know this moment in time. I remember this. That's Susan. Oh shit, I used her name. All right. Well, it's the giant peanut. So I I haven't seen her since a long time ago. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, look, that's really weird. And then another girl comes running up the stairs, and she puts her hands down at the top of the stairs and goes, hey, what are you guys doing? And I was like, oh.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's this other girl. So I remember that. What's the big deal? Nothing happened that day. Nothing. We were in the room. We had the best conversation. The other girl came up, and we continued the conversation. We just included her. Then we went downstairs. We saw grandma and grandpa and everybody. They're like, watch again. So the girl sitting looks at me and then looks back, and her tongue grows. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So they're like, look. And her eyes completely change. And this part of her goes into that weird lizard green with the scales. And then she has hair on her head, stayed normal. But I could see her. It was like as if the lizard was just under the skin somehow. And now it's revealed, and the tongue goes. And I'm like, well, it's weird. And then the other girl comes flying up the stairs and goes, hey, what are you guys doing? And the tongue came out. The eyes completely changed, turned yellow. Her hair, it looked like everyone was going to go bald because they were changing into lizards, was pulled back.
Mhm.
So there was like scale all here, not hair. And then there was hair back here. I got to learn how to do this. So it was like back here. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, these were good friends of mine when we were kids. And they're like, look, stop looking away. Look again. And I'm going like this. And I just see them playing the part. And I'm like, yo, I was around those people for a long time growing up. Like for that high school thing, that was high school. They're like, you've been surrounded the whole time.
Right.
There's never not been a point where they haven't been there, keeping you directed into this direction.
Sure.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Distraction.
These were like, and I was saying what beautiful people they actually were. And then I had met one of the girls later in life, and it was a little awkward. She was like, I'm not the one that you remember when I was a kid. And I was like, wow, I can see that for sure now. But the point was they were there the whole time. You've been surrounded and you made your way back. How does that make you feel? The ultimate deception. Remember, it's a heist inside of a heist, right? So they heist us, but we already know, and we were heisting them the whole time. Why? Because we're the creator, right? You don't overtake the creator. The creator overtakes creation because it is creation. It's the all. It doesn't even overtake it. It just is it. And if you break that natural law, it just sends in people.
But it was awesome that they brought you back to a moment in time that you were familiar with, so you can see it from a different perspective. So you could see really that
frightened
you
me a
were
little bit. I was like,
you were
damn.
surrounded by people that didn't want you near your people. So you were, and they were good people. You're not saying that they weren't.
They weren't
your people. They weren't creators.
They just weren't my people.
Right. They weren't your people.
And they're not aware. See, this is the other thing. Like, the lizard acts like the lizard, whether it's in the human body or not. You'll notice you'll say this person acts like an animal would act in a specific kind of animal during specific moments. If you are watching both the animal and the person imitating the animal, what are you doing? Are you imitating that animal, or is that actually the higher you, like that being, like the lizard with consciousness, standing on 2 feet, has 2 hands, with a tail and a thinking brain and spaceships and laser guns? It's just, that's, you could look at a monkey or an ape or something and go, well, that's what we were. I don't quite believe that, but your DNA sure was. I don't believe I just matured through that, like was a monkey man and then turned into this. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. I believe the things were here and we were experiencing them, right? And we were evolving and things were happening. And then along came whoever and decided to take DNA from the entire living library, build a suit to house the creator, because the creator ain't coming in if you build half the suit. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
You're not going to get one of the light beings to do it. You will get one of the lizard beings, though. You will get them for sure. You will get demonics for sure, because I'm not going to come in there, but they'll come in there. So you're going to make it perfect enough for us to go, yeah, we could do that. But the reality of it, your higher self knows you're going to go in there and you're going to overcome the programming, and whatever deception they're throwing down has to stop. So the only way to do it is to go in there and stop it. And you can't go in there and punch them, because then they could come back again and do it again. So what you do is you go in there and you completely disrupt the system and don't allow the system to ever exist by overcoming the system, overriding everything, destroying the programming, and becoming your natural self, love, light, and all this other good stuff.
Right.
Man, you're the greatest. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Also, really, really quick, this is just a little caveat right here at the end. I'm going to share my screen for a minute. Okay. That's the Fearless site. But this guy, Davian Art. Okay. So he does portrait commissions, or she, I don't know. All right. So, but I do know, I was talking to you guys a few weeks ago about the little party that went on. When I went outside, I was having an experience, and it was like they were dancing around me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it looks like Star Trek. It was Ash Star Command characters, and I'm going, I don't know. You guys are dancing now. People say you don't exist, but I've met you now 50 times, and blah 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 blah. I said, well, they're wearing the coolest outfits. They're wearing blue outfits with silver sashes, right? It's just blue, and they're dancing. I'm like, it's kind of like Star Trek, but not quite. It looks more hangoutable and whatever. Now, I've never quite seen, never quite seen anyone's representation of that. However, where is it? Here it comes. Bang. There you go. There you have it. That's what it looks like. The guy I was talking to had a silver slash across here, like a sash, and it was the exact same thing. It was like he was wearing this belt around this way and was just dancing.
Wow.
And they were all had versions of that.
Wow.
And I'm like, you guys, see, this has a little Star Trek symbol. It didn't have a Star Trek symbol.
Yeah, but it was a version of
it was just blue with the silver. And I was like, damn, that,
which means it already,
I was like, damn, that looks dope. But it's like, it's like command function, right? Like if you was like, move the ship to the left, I'd be like, oh, do what the captain says, right? But also you're in here throwing down on a dance floor. And I'm like, yo, this guy's got Saturday Night Fever going on. He's dressed for the club and ready to party. So you're a little bit of party, a little bit commander, all around casual attire that still makes you look dope and fresh. And it looks like
Stain resistant.
Stain resistant, my favorite.
Wrinkle
free and stain resistant. It was a man that I was speaking to. I was dancing with Ashtar. That's the problem. I don't want to say that because people go, what do you mean? I was like, dude, what's up? Right. But he has all of these beings around him. Right. So the portrait commission, you're looking at all different beings in the side here. Right. Picture a whole bunch of them in their outfits surrounding you, dancing, saying, congratulations, you made it. Right. You're past the point of no return. Right. Not only, and no return, infinitely, galactically, universally. Like, it's not just Frank hit a point of no return. Right. You're already on the point of no return by stepping in. But like, so, all right. The last part is, once again, the shift of the event, whatever you want to call it. There's no going back now. It's on, like you're in over your head and it's beautiful and you should be happy and partying with it. Also, I thought this was awesome. And when I saw this guy's artwork, I don't know nothing about him. I think some of this stuff is in, I don't know what language that is. Maybe French or something.
German, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, there's some English. But when I was scrolling here, see?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. So it talks about Pleiadians and all kinds of stuff or whatever, Arcturians and all kinds of great stuff, Ashtar Command and all that kind of great stuff. So Joseph Bentley, it is time. They've shown you, they've shown Nick Zervos. Shout out to Nick Zervos. Shout outs to all of you. You've been seeing it now. All the things that you couldn't see last year or a year before or 2 years before that.
They make themselves known now.
Mm-hmm. Now you see. Now you know. And this is the last thing I'm showing you, and then that's it for the night. Flying cars of the future. I talked about having the dream where we step it right into the car, right? And we're already in a building and the window's open and we just walk out the window into the car, but it's secure. So you don't like the way you walk out a front door. You don't even pay attention. You just go and you're like, I'll get in the car. I got in, there were bucket seats and they were swiveling. So I told Paula the other day, I says, look, I typed flying cars in just to see what would happen because there was an article online with it's like a taxi and the wheelbases have fans like this one right here, like the cool flying car, except it was more like this one right here. Bong. Right. Let's just bring that up for a second. Okay. So that's like they had that actual thing. Not a representation of it. There's an article. I lost the article because I shut my computer off and it screwed me up. But it was the exact same thing that I was talking about. You get in, it charges itself. It doesn't cost anything. Yeah. It just lands on your roof or in front. Like we were on like a 40th floor or something. And it just said, you're not gonna, like, I was like, I want to buy a new car. And then there's like, the next time you get a vehicle, you'll be flying. And I'm like, what do you mean I'll be flying? They're like, no, check it. And they showed it to me. And okay, it was this color red down here. But that's like an action one. But the fans came out of the tires like that. And I'm sure if you just type in flying cars into Google and take a look, you're going to see, here's one right here. Bong. There you go. Now, I've never looked at any of this stuff. Yes, they do exist. It does already exist. Everything's in play. Solaris and I were talking about the overlays. When the overlay happens, whatever that I got to get on screen for this. Whatever that trickle effect is, where it comes down over you, these things were there. It was just action and going on. Cars were still there. There were still cars on the road. Right. There was still traffic, but this new stuff was implemented and it was happening so fast, lightning fast. It was like day by day, things started to just change, all for the better. Yes, there's hiccups. Yes, there's problems. Yes, there's issues. Worry about yourself and what you can handle.
But that's what's going to happen now. Now that 2020, we've reached 2020, now things are happening exponentially. So where before it would take 10 to 20 years to make an advance in technology or science, now these things are going to be happening in months and
daily. Yeah, it's going to get to daily
because now everything's speeding up. Everything's exponential.
Yes, I do want the superhero color. Why wouldn't we all want that? Why wouldn't you want something so awesome that's in your mind? You're just like, whoa. And I'm going to tell you this, no matter the craziness in my mind could never prepare me for any of the things I've seen. It's better. Like, I've never thought that way. I was never able to see that. So it's an amazing, amazing, amazing future is headed our way. Remember, you are the lightning rod, right? You are the rainbow bridge. You are the connection source to ground into the planet, anchor in, and do your grind and pull that overlay in, whatever that means to you. Just go out and do it. Live a good life. Feel good about yourself. Live fearlessly. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. We love you very much. Stay fearless, everyone. And remember, the universe rewards bravery. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Fearless family. Paula, Milo. Etherical translation at its finest.
We love all of you.
We love you so much. I think I love them a little more than Paula, though.